something's on. Little roach. And that's what's been playing with the bread flake. And a size 8 hook, look at the size of that, and a size 8 hook. Wow. Amazing. Hi again. I'm on another backwater today. I haven't fished this one before. I did come down and have a look at it before the season kicked off. Looking at the first few swims, it's a bit challenging. So we'll see how it goes. There's a guy fishing a bit further down, and there was one by the entrance when I came in. But I've stopped off here and I'll try this spot and, as I say, see how we go. Well, a little bit of a mini disaster with my videoing. I'd taken a couple of clips today and I'd tried one spot before here and just moved on to here. I'd had one cast here, but what happened was I remembered that I hadn't deleted all the clips from my last trip, and I thought, oh, I'm going to run out of space on the memory card. So I quickly connected my phone to the little video camera and deleted all the old clips, but I made the mistake thinking the newest ones would be at the bottom of the list, because it displays sort of about 10 clips at a time on the screen, but they must have been at the top of the list, so I deleted them. So my first couple of short video clips for today, I'm afraid I wiped off, so that wasn't very clever. Anyway, I'd had one cast here with bread and lots of little nibbles, but nothing else. So I'm just going to try a bit of luncheon meat and see if that produces anything. That was a little bit close to the edge of the tree, and I'm not actually sure it didn't get caught up, but we'll leave it. It was a very good cast if it didn't. So we'll leave it there just to see if anything comes of it. Yeah, in the couple of clips that I deleted, I was saying this is quite popular, this backwater. It's probably the most popular backwater of the ones on the Peterborough ticket, other than the syndicate ones. And basically I think because it does produce some nice barbel, albeit they're not easy to catch, and so it's well fished, and the fish are probably quite wary. And I've not fished it before, so I don't know the stretch. It usually takes 2 or 3 visits to a stretch and a little bit of success to work out the best spots. Although this looks pretty good. It's got all the right features, but it hasn't produced anything other than a few nibbles on bread flake. Yeah, a bit unfortunate deleting the first couple of clips. Not that there were any fish on them. The problem is I went fishing on Friday last week, and it's Tuesday today, so it wasn't that long ago really, and I just hadn't got around to doing me sort of admin really. Obviously I downloaded them all to the computer to make the last video, and the next step was really to just clear them from the memory card, but I forgot to do that, so So they've gone now, along with a couple of today's ones. But you didn't miss anything, or anything significant really. Yeah, I'm not sure that I'm not caught in something over there. It got very close to some surface weeds and things. I may cast again because... Oh, that was me bashing the rod. Oh no, it didn't. So it was in a good spot. It obviously didn't produce anything. This is quite a long backwater. There are a number of other swims. I walked the stretch before the season opened, but I've not fished it before. And at the end, or the beginning, you could say, is a weir and a weir pool. So it might be worth making my way up there if not much happens down here. The most popular spots are, as one would expect, the ones nearest the entrance, the car park swims, as people refer to them. Although they're not next to the car park, you have to walk a while. But this is towards the entrance. I'm probably 200 yards down from the entrance, so it's probably quite a popular spot. Probably fished quite a lot. So. Perhaps it would be worth walking a bit further along to those areas where people tend not to venture. But certainly there doesn't seem to be much happening here. I had lots of little nibbles on bread, but nothing really significant. There's one good sort of yank, but that was probably a dace or something, just pulling the end of the bread off. So perhaps I'll venture a bit further upstream as it is, and see what I can find, something that's less well fished. Well, another interesting little spot. I saw some chub in this section when I walked the stretch earlier in the year, but obviously that was a long time ago. And a lot of water has passed through since then, so we'll give it a go. Something's having a tap. It's quite a shallow run, so there's probably dace in here as well. No, that was a good pull, and I missed it. And now I've got me line all caught up, which is not good. Well, let's hope it wasn't spooked. But that was a good bite. I should have really hit that. Good pull. Sort of classic chub as well, because it was soon after I cast. It's probably a smaller chub or something, but we'll never know. It's probably spooked it. Oh, I don't know, it's a tap. From memory, I think there's one more spot just upstream from here, which is a bit tricky. And then from memory of my walk back in the back before the beginning of the season in early June, I'm not sure there are many other open swims until you get to the weir at the end. Yeah, I think these are small ones just playing with the bait. Luncheon meat wasn't touched, but the bread flake, obviously there's bits I can pull off. Well, I spotted this spot on the way walking up to the weir, but actually just as I arrived here, I crossed paths with a chap who was coming back from the direction of the weir, an angler. I think he'd already tried in here, so it looks like I'm following somebody else around, which is never good news if you're trying to pick up a chub. But he said the weir's difficult because of the weeds and that, trying to get to the open water. So I may have a walk up there and have a look. But he said the guy who I'd spotted on the corner down there in what is a very sort of open type swim. It's not only the very open swim, but it's also the barbel swim apparently, and the guy I was just talking to said he's never been able to get it. Every time he comes here there's already someone in it, so there you go. Not that I'm after barbel really, I'm not equipped for them, but we'll try here. He's already tried it on his way up to the weir pool, so oops, I put a bit of cheese paste on, it's just fallen off, which is never a good start, is it? Obviously got caught in something as I am. Mucky cheese paste now. I did put it on so that the hook was projecting a bit to try and make it. Mind you, mucky cheese paste probably looks more natural to the fish than pristine looking stuff. Now the trick is here where to cast. Let's have a look, see what we can see. Try and get down a bit, but we've got branches coming out and she's going to catch the line. I'll go over to the right and then hope it comes around. Yeah, that's not so bad. Not got my seat in a very good position. It's tipping backwards, which means I'm going to fall over if I'm not careful. Yeah, the guy I was speaking to said he got here at 9, so he's probably been along plopping in all the places I've been plopping in. So, as I say, when you're after chub, not that he's got any, he said he hasn't had any success, but it's always better if you're the first one to get there. But there we go. Something nibbling, but cheese paste is very soft, so it won't take much for them to get it off if they're little ones. I was hoping there might have been a decent one there that would gobble it down all in one go. Yeah, so the guy in what is supposedly the barbel swim will obviously be there all day, waiting and hoping. Yeah, something playing around with the cheese paste. It's going to have to do more than play around with it. Well, I just discovered I use these little bead things with a link with the 2 swan shot, but I just discovered that it got itself in a tangle and it was actually locked to the line. It wasn't sliding at all, which hasn't helped matters much with the bites because they're feeling the resistance of those two 2 swan shot, which for a big chub probably wouldn't worry it, but the smaller fish probably decided not to bother. So that's interesting. Yeah, never had that happen before, but there we go. There's no doubt some anti-tangle version of all these things, some fancy bit of kit. When you see all the weird and wonderful tackle you can buy these days, makes you wonder as kids how we ever managed anything with a sort of round bullet ledger on the line with a bit of split shot as the stop. Yeah. I've put red flake out, and as expected it's immediately been attacked, but it's probably small fish. It's very peaceful here today. There's hardly any wind. The sun has now gone in, and it wasn't very strong to start with. There's the sort of slight hum of the A1, which is, I don't know if you can see if a lorry goes past, but it's just over the other side of those fields there, up on the hill. And we've had one train go past on the Nene Valley Light Railway, and that's it really. Other than that, it's very, very peaceful. Well, to be honest, those noises don't really cause a lot of problems. Yeah, these are small fish, aren't they? They're pulling all the bits of bread off the end. Right, I think I'll do what I said I was going to do. I'll walk up to the weir pool. That guy seemed to suggest it may not actually be easily fished. So if we get up there and it's not, we'll have a sit down and have lunch, and then decide what to do next. But obviously all the spots on here have been fished today. So it's not easy sometimes when you arrive and you're the first one to get here, but when you're following other people around, it's chub in particular gets spooked. Right, as you can see, I'm on the edge of the weir. I think this down here is firm enough to support my weight, so I'm going to try and get down here and cast down into the stream. I prodded it with my stick first, so yeah, it's about as far as I can go. The net will just about reach if I get into something. It's all a bit dicey though. I think something's on. Little roach. And that's what's been playing with the bread flake. On a size 8 hook, look at the size of that on a size 8 hook. Wow. Amazing. Well, I just had a little chub, tiny little chub, and I didn't switch the video on, so the only chub of the day so far, and you missed it, but here we go. Yeah, it was about that big, so you didn't miss a lot. Well, that was a really tricky place to fish, and in the end I lost all my gear up in the tree. I got snagged in some weeds, and as I pulled out, the line shot back into the tree, and it was a bit unforgiving, so I lost everything. So I've just retackled. I'm not going to carry on fishing there, it's really too difficult. So I'll walk back, I think, and find myself a spot and just spend the next hour or two fishing out there. I'm not too hopeful, to be honest, but I want to get nearer the car for when I back up. So yeah, yeah. And I caught a small chub, which you missed because I didn't switch the video on. So there we go, one of those days. Well, I'm now on perhaps the most fish swim on the stretch. It's right near the bridge there, which is the entrance to the stretch. So in theory, it shouldn't be that easy to catch anything here, but just before I pack up, I thought I'd give it a go. Nearly fell over then. Yeah, it's been a tough day again today. It's quite humid, even though the sun hasn't been bright. And once more, I've done quite a lot of walking. Yeah, small fish again, pulling at the bread flake. I don't think I'm going to get much more today. Well, that's it for today. Not a very successful day, I'm afraid. One small roach out of the weir pool and one small chub out of the weir pool, which you didn't see because I didn't have the video on. But talking to the other guy who I've bumped into 2 or 3 times now today, he hasn't caught anything either, so I'm in good company, so to speak. Anyway, thanks for watching. It was a different stretch, so you saw some different swims, etc, etc. And thanks for the likes. I sometimes wonder why any of us really fish rivers, because they are really challenging. And when you think, last Friday I sat at a pond and caught fish nearly all day, whereas here I'm struggling all the time. So, but rivers do have a fascination. There's this unknown quantity about them. Anyway, as I say, thanks for watching, and thank you for the likes, and thank you for those who have subscribed to the channel. And until the next time, I'm not sure where that will be, but perhaps I'll choose somewhere where I feel more confident of success. Anyway, that's it for today. So it's bye for now, and cheers.